I'm Victoria Pearson, but you can call me V, and I'm coming to this trend maybe 6 years too late, I'm not sure, but one of you asked me. So today I'm going to be telling you how I fit everything I need into this tiny little bag. So as you guys know, I recently went on holiday. I went to Kessingland in Suffolk. It was absolutely gorgeous, very near Lowestoft, kind of near the easternmost point of the UK. And one of my friends actually walked from the easternmost to the westernmost point of the UK, and that is the only reason that I know that that is the easternmost point of the UK. The more you know. Before I went, I did a video on packing because I only had quite a small suitcase, got quite a small car, needed to fit a lot of stuff in there because I didn't know if it was going to be absolutely lashing down with rain or glorious sunshine. And while I was packing that stuff up, I said, this particular dress doesn't have pockets, but it's okay because I can just take my little bag. And it is a very little bag. As you also know, I started my family quite young. And so for my entire adult life, I have had young children around me. And that involves so much carrying of stuff. I can't even tell you. The amount of big bags full of other people's stuff that you have to lug around as a parent is ridiculous. My youngest is 8 now, but my older ones are 16, 17, 22, so they don't need me to carry their stuff around anymore. They can carry their own stuff now. And so I had this sudden thing that I wasn't going to be carrying a big bag around anymore. I wanted to be free and unencumbered. But obviously, as a woman, I don't have loads and loads of pockets in my clothes. And so I bought this because I decided it was basically an external pocket. It's got this long handle, but you can unclip that and take it off if you want to. There is an elasticated patch here, so you could put it on a belt or something if you wanted to. And I decided that that was all I was going to carry. This is what I think of as my external pocket. Then one of you asked me, how do you fit everything that you need in that tiny little bag? So I thought I'd show you just how much I can get in here, because even I was quite amazed, to be honest. So let's go through my bag, and I probably should have cleaned it out first, but we won't worry about that. What's a bit of mess between friends, eh? So my first pocket is this tiny little one, which is obviously just the right size for my bank cards in there, which obviously I'm not going to show you. I can sometimes fit a little bit of coins and some cash in there, but I don't often carry cash anymore, to be honest. Now that you've got the old tap and pay, it's so easy to just do it with your card. I do like to carry a little bit of change around with me in case I need it for parking and stuff, but I keep some in my car for that purpose. And there really isn't very many other situations where you're going to need cash when you're out and about in the UK. And so I might have maybe a 20p in there just in case I need to use a public toilet, something like that. But most of the time it's just my cards and my ID in that pocket. This next pocket here, this is what I think of as my little travelling pharmacy. And so, what's in the pharmacy pocket? Let's have a look. So I have got a couple of hairbands in there. Okay, maybe that's not very pharmacy-like, but you don't want me to be doing medical care on you while my hair is all flapping about, do you? I don't want to get all your blood and sick in my hair. I'm going to scrag it back. So I've got that in there. I've also got this little thing of sterile water, which came with the first aid kit that I bought. That's just in case anybody needs an eye wash, or one of the kids cuts themselves in public and I want to wash it out or something like that, and there isn't any facilities to do that nearby. So I carry a little thing of sterile water in there. I also have in here my tube of Voltarol. I carry that around because it really helped with my shoulder. When I was doing a lot of walking in London, I had very bad shoulder injury. I probably don't need it in my bag anymore because my shoulder is a lot better, but I like to keep it with me just in case. It's my security Voltarol, okay? For the same reason, I have got some ibuprofen in there. I do normally have paracetamol as well, but somebody had a headache at the class that I went to the other day, and so I gave it away to her. I've got some standard plasters in here. I've got a big plaster, 2 little dotty plasters, and a standard sort of plaster, just in case anybody cuts themselves. I'm dropping stuff everywhere now. I also have a couple of blister plasters in there because when I was on holiday, I had my sandals on. I hadn't really worn them much that year because it had been really rainy, and I wanted to carry those just in case. I also carry a sanitary towel in my bag, even though I don't use them, or Tampax because I use a menstrual cup. But I don't ever want to be in a situation where a young person is asking me, do I have a pad? And I don't have anything to give them, and I have to say no to them and turn them away. So that there is what we think of as the pharmacy pocket. And so, you know, if you're ever taken ill when you're outside, or you need a painkiller or a plaster or something, just come and find me. I've got everything you need just in that pocket there. And it all fits back in quite nicely without a big squash. And so that is the pharmacy pocket in there. In this backmost pocket is where I keep my phone. I'm currently recording on my phone, so I can't show you that, but to show you that it does fit, I decided that I'd put my phone's case in there so that you can see that it does fit in there. That's where I normally keep my phone and also my vape, which I don't know where that is. I don't use it very often. It's a very occasional use thing, but I do like to have it with me, even though I don't really vape regularly anymore. It's a hangover from when I was a smoker and I couldn't leave the house without going, where's my cigarettes, where's my lighter, where's my wallet? And so I like to keep the vape with me in there, even though it is extremely rare that I will ever use it now. That is the only thing that goes into that pocket, because they fit next to each other side by side, and so then nothing's going to scratch my phone's screen. And then in the last pocket in the middle here, I've got my keys, which that bit of green ribbon is where my son made me a key ring at sewing club, but the key ring pop fell off. I need to reattach it. I also need to cut down on my keys because I've got keys for old houses in there and other people's houses, and I don't even know what half those keys are for. But I have this thing where I don't like to throw a key away in case I then remember what it's for and I need it. Anyway, as well as my keys in that pocket, I also have my little thing of sunscreen for topping up when I'm out and about. I did take a big roll-on one when we went on holiday so that I would have it available for the kids to top up, because this stuff's quite pricey and I only really use it for my face. It's not really for my shoulders and stuff. But now that they're back at school and they're not out and about with me in the day, I don't need the big chunky roll-on. When I did have the big chunky roll-on, it was a bit more of a squeeze to get things in the bag, but it did still fit in there. Also in my bag, I have got my little notebook. I did get this one on holiday, but I had a different one in there before, because what kind of writer would I be if I didn't have a notebook and a pen with me? And that's it. That's what's in my bag. I think given the amount of stuff that I can fit in there, I'm actually quite impressed with the capacity of this little bag. Such a tiny little thing, really, and weighs nothing whatsoever. I can fit it across my body. I can adjust these straps to make it fit smaller. I can take these straps off completely and just hook it on my belt or something. And this little bit here, I did think at first that I might be able to fit my water bottle in there, but it's just a bit too much of a squeeze and not very comfortable to hold it like that. So I don't use that, and I tend to carry my water bottle separately if I feel I need one. But this little piece here is also really, really good for hanging my little fold-up tripod on. So if I want to film when I'm out and about, I've still got it with me, even though it doesn't quite fit in the bag. I can't think of anything else that I really need in there. There was a lip balm in there, but I don't know where that's gone. Lip balms always run away from me. I don't know why. Can't think of much else that I would want to carry around with me, and so I don't need a bag bigger than this. I actually got this from Temu, I think, you know, the app where they say shop like a billionaire. I don't think a billionaire would carry this around. It looks a bit jakey, but it was super, super cheap. It was under a £5, and it's probably the best bag that I've ever had because I'm completely hands-free with it. I can't fill it up enough to make it heavy and give me a backache, but it does fit absolutely everything that I need in there, and it's all nicely organised into different pockets. That's what I've got in my bag. That's why I love my little bag. And there you go, there's your question answered. Join me again next week. I am going to be doing something witchy, I think, but I don't know exactly what yet. I might do another reading for you, or I might just answer some of your questions about witchcraft, paganism, all those sorts of things. So if you have any questions for me that you've always wanted to know but didn't want to ask, or you didn't know anybody to ask about paganism, witchcraft, Hellenistic theism, all that sort of thing, just drop me a comment and ask me. There are no stupid questions. I will answer you if I can, and if I can't, I'll try and find somebody else that can, so that I can at least point you in the right direction. After that, I am going to be doing a check-in on my 30-day glow up challenge, just to let you know how it all went. But I thought I'd give you a quick rundown now. I have missed one day of my stuff, and on that day I still drank all my water, took my sunscreen and read some of a book, but I didn't do any of the exercise because I had the worst tummy ache, and I just didn't think that my body would enjoy being active when what I wanted to do was curl up with a hot water bottle. So I did that instead, and that is okay. But I didn't let that sort of knock me off completely. The next day I got up, I said, right, it's time to restart again, and I have done it since then. And you know, I'm feeling really quite good. I got over my tummy ache really, really quickly, which isn't like me. I would normally have 3 or 4 days of feeling awful when I feel awful, but I got over it really, really quick. I'm feeling more energized in general. This morning, at time of filming, was the first day back at school for my children, and I managed to get out of bed without any major problems, which is big for me. And also, I think that the extra water that I've been drinking, or maybe the sunscreen, I'm not sure, it's given me quite a nice little glow on my skin. I've still got the dark and uneven patches caused by the sun damage. I don't know if protecting that from further damage is going to reverse any of the damage that I already had. Probably isn't, but I do feel like it is at least not getting worse. Really enjoying the reading part as well, because I love to read and I love to write, and occasionally I like to meditate, but I'm very bad at motivating myself to do those things. So those 20 minutes each day of doing those things has been really, really helpful for me. And I've got through some books that I've been meaning to read for ages and just kept telling myself I didn't have time for. We do have the time, it's about making it the priority. And so giving myself that 20 minutes a day where I feel like I have to has meant that I've been able to read stuff that I've been putting off for ages. It's also meant that quite often I've read beyond the 20 minutes because I do enjoy reading. And so I've managed to finish a few books, and I've probably got a million book reviews to write when I finish this challenge. If you want to find out more about that challenge, it isn't too late to join in. You can join in whenever you like. And so there is another video on my weekly vlog playlist. It'll probably be the one just after this one if you're watching on the playlist at the minute. But I will also link it in the description and the comments and all that sort of business so that you can have a look at that if you would like to join in. I will also link to my Kesingland vlog because I'm really pleased with how it came out and a lot of you seem to like it. I'm hoping to do some similar sorts of content in the future, but travel's not really on the cards for me right now. I don't have a lot of time, I don't have a lot of money, and I don't have a passport. So that is a bit of a challenge to making travel type videos for you, but you seem to really enjoy it. So I'm very glad that you did. If you can't wait until my next weekly vlog, I am here every morning in your shorts, taking a great big deep breath, letting you know what I'm grateful for. And then on a Tuesday, I do tend to do Terrarium Tuesdays if and when I remember to. Poor Dave, he's nearly 300 days old. I've neglected him quite badly over the last couple of weeks because I kept forgetting to do my Terrarium Tuesdays. So I need you guys to keep me accountable on that one because otherwise it's going to mould and die. And then on a Wednesday, I will be here for a very quick, short Witchy Wednesday reading for you, where I do an intuitive card read for whoever comes up. But as I say, I'm doing witchy content next week as well, so I might do a longer reading for you all then as well. Let me know what you'd like to see more content on as well, because there are some days where I've got loads and loads of ideas, I make lots of videos, and then there's other days where I wake up and go, oh, I've got a vlog in a couple of days and I don't even know what the topic is yet. Ask questions by all means. Let me know what you want to see. I will do my best to cater for you, and together we will work out what I'm going to be vlogging about next. I will be back next Monday, 6 a.m. UK time, probably with a witchy thing. Until then, you have yourself a magical week.